everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of Gamestack Podcast. This is fine. Not at all on fire. This is fine. I'm Shalene, and these guys are Vendertron.
Welcome, sir or madam.
And Rick McVick.
Hi, everybody.
How are you guys?
Okay, I guess. How are you, Shalene?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just do the show.
We made it here. It's okay. We made it. We're all here.
Welcome also to everybody coming into the chat room live with us this evening. Happy Friday, and welcome to the show.
Guys, you know what? We never did decide what we're going to do after the podcast. It's ridiculous. No, we never did. So.
Well, maybe we could talk about that later.
After the podcast. Not during.
That's right. We do have to do the podcast first.
Yeah.
We do.
And you know what makes a podcast really fantastic? It's not this nonsense. It's your emails. Send us your emails, listeners, to info@wejustlovegames.com, info@wejustlovegames.com. We really like reading your emails and answering your questions on the show. So send those emails in so we can read them.
Mm-hmm.
If you are here watching live, go ahead and give us a host on Twitch. Tell your friends about the show. Spread the good word of Gamestack Podcast. We appreciate that very much. And another great thing you can do that helps out the show is to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, just like these people did. Vendor, would you like to tell us about our 5-star reviewers of this?
Absolutely, Shalene. We've got one 5-star review shout out from the US, The Dancing Baptist. Hey, thank you for the 5-star review shout out. And they say, started with TFS. Now I love this one better. Great job, guys. And thanks for the hours of entertainment you have provided while I'm at work. So thank you for that 5-star review shout out. If you would like to leave one for the show, we will shout you out. All you got to do is go to iTunes, search We Just Love Games, Gamestack, or That Fallout Show. And you can leave us a little bit of a review and click on that 5th star. We also have some awesome people flooding into our Discord community. We are now over 240 some members and growing rapidly. The first one, who I think possibly you guys might actually be a local fan for me.
For you?
Yes. Yui. I think that's how you say it. Welcome to the Discord community and the community in general. I think Yui is a Oilers fan, Oilers hockey fan. So if you are, that's cool. And if you're local, that's also very cool. We also have Obtuse version 13. I assume the V stands for version, which makes me wonder why are there so many versions?
Pretty sure it's Vault.
Oh, Vault 13.
Yeah.
I mean,
Obtuse Vault 13.
Why else would you put V? I don't know. We also have We Are Arsons. Welcome to the Discord. That makes me a little bit nervous, though. Please don't light any matches while you're here.
It's already on fire, so it's not like...
Yeah.
Gosh, that's right. The podcast is already on fire, so if
you could not burn this thing anymore.
Unless it's the concept of lighting off a bigger fire next to it to suck all the oxygen away from us, and then we're not on fire anymore.
Right.
But
this
then
is
we
fine.
also can't breathe.
This is fine. And last but certainly not least, FoxyCast92. Welcome to the Discord community. If you guys would like to get access to the Discord community, where basically it's the chat room live 24 hours a day, you can do so by going to our social media and finding the link there, or sending us a personal message on any of those platforms as well, or talk to our mods. They will also provide that information to you. On with the show.
Yes, and we're going to talk about some news. We've got some video game shenanigans, a couple of discussion topics, and an email. We're going to start out, of course, as always, with the news. And I wanted to give an extra big shout out to Joseph Tao this week, who compiled the news for us, even though he was moving to a new place and had a bunch of crazy stuff going on in his life. And we really appreciate you, Joseph. Thank you for all your work. And let's do the news.
Nice. So he's in his new place now?
I'm doing the news bumper.
Oh.
Sorry. That was the
I
news
can't.
bumper.
I can't hear the
It's
news
okay.
bumper.
Why can't you hear the news bumper? Did I not
didn't
show
I
the
can't
audio?
hear it.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. This is fine, though. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, he's in the new place. I don't know, but he was moving. He said in his news email. But
Well, we'll be excited to have you back. Oh, I see he's in the chat already. So it looks like he's got his setup all running and everything's
Yeah.
good to go.
Has
That was
internet
probably
at
the
least.
first thing that he did,
So,
right? So
it's hard to be without internet. So.
right.
But let's go ahead and move right into it. I know we're already about midway through the month, but because we weren't able to do a show a couple weeks ago, I thought we should go ahead and chat about the free monthly games and the new releases for the month. Rick, do you wanna roll us on through this?
I look forward to this every single month. So just gonna clear my throat, but I will.
It's my favorite. My favorite.
I am very excited to do this because I'm going to get so tongue twisted. Anyway, Xbox Games with Gold this month. Technomancer, Pandemic, Star Wars, Battlefront 2 among April's Xbox Games with Gold. This is all from Game Informer, apparently, so shout out to those guys. April 1st through the 30th, you can get Technomancer on Xbox One. April 15th through May 15th, you can get Outcast Second Contact on Xbox One. On April 1st through the 15th, you can get Star Wars Battlefront 2 on Xbox. The good one that Pandemic made. And then April 16th through the 30th, you can get Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. So, which was fun if you're a Ghost Recon fan. On the PlayStation Plus, not that that's a console or anything, free games for April. We got Conan Exiles and The Surge available April 2nd. Have you guys played Conan Exiles?
I have.
Yeah, we actually did some Let's Plays of Conan Exiles back in the day.
Yeah.
You did
back in the
Let's
KDR
Plays
days.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
of the game with dong physics?
We did.
It was really bad.
Mm-hmm. It was it was
And
fun.
from what I gather, it hasn't really gotten any better.
I
I'm
did
so
not
sorry.
enjoy I did not enjoy that game. I enjoyed like hanging out with Vendertron, and there were some laughably bad glitches. I was killed by an invisible crocodile one time. That was amazing.
That's my new
I
band
forgot
name,
about that.
Invisible
And there were
Crocodile.
just rocks and flora and fauna just floating above the ground. Just it was some truly epic glitches. And remember Nunu the cannibal? We slept at Nunu's house.
That's right.
Nunu.
Yes.
Nunu the cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, if you want to play that terrible game or whatever The Surge is, it's probably not about the awesome soda from the 2000s.
The Surge is like a Souls style game in which you play as a dude in a mech suit. And I think the first level you play like in a wheelchair, and then you get your mech suit. And it's like mech suit Dark Souls.
Interesting. Okay, well that sounds actually kind of cool. Those are all available on the PlayStation Plus for this month starting April 2nd, which it's already past that, so get it today. Anyway, on Twitch Prime, 3 months of Nintendo Switch Online if you sign up for Twitch Prime. You also get
And this
Her
is
Story.
pretty cool, the Nintendo Switch Online thing. You can actually get a year's worth 3 months at a time. You get 3 months worth, and then at the end of that, you can get another 3 months worth. It's pretty cool.
You can get Her Story, Inner Space, Joggernauts, which is apparently maybe like a QWOP simulator, and then Keep in Mind Remastered.
I played Her Story, and it was actually a really cool game. Really
What
cool.
is it about?
It's like kind of a mystery, kind of a murder mystery story, and you play as basically the game is it looks like a computer desktop, and you go through the files that are on the computer and try and get clues, and you watch the videos, and that gives you different keywords that you can search for.
You mean the files are? You mean the files are in the
inside
computer? Inside the computer?
You don't say.
Yes, the files are inside the computer, but Her Story is it's a really different experience. It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Interesting.
Nice. All right. Now for the favorite part of this part, where I get to say all the terrible names and make fun of them.
Mhm.
Because this is the new releases for this April. Apparently, it's been edited down, but here we go. And some of these have already come out. So we'll just start either way from the beginning because maybe you didn't know. On the PlayStation 4 and Switch on April 2nd, it's already out. Bomber Crew Complete Edition. Also, you can get on the Switch Darksiders War Mastered Edition.
That's so bad.
War Mastered. And then you get Bout of Blood, The Last Captain Standing, which is on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, April 3rd. On April 4th, you get Deathmark on the PC, Scorcery on PlayStation 4.
Oh, no.
Woof.
That's yeah.
Scorcery, the magic of chocolate.
Scores are the best though, aren't they?
Nice.
Sorry.
You get Overwhelm on the Switch, which is also April 4th. This title, I'm looking forward to this one. On April 5th for the PC, you can get Dance of Death, Dulac and Frey. Whatever.
Oh, boy.
Faye. Sorry, Dulac and Faye. Faye. On April 5th, also, you can get, for the Switch or PC, Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission.
Jesus.
It's so bad. It's so bad. There's so much going on.
I feel like there was 9 people at that table, and they took everyone's opinions into account in naming that. Teamwork makes the dream work, you guys.
Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. I just want some like 80s, like, 1990, like, intro music that's like heavily distorted guitars, and they're like Dragon Ball, wow, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
I don't know. I feel like Dragon Ball fans are like very defensive about Dragon Ball, and we're probably gonna get some hate mail for this one.
Perfect. Bring
But
it.
no, I'm
Bring
just
it.
making fun of the name, not the game. It's a different thing.
I'm not sure what Dragon Ball is.
Dragon Ball. I'm assuming it's part of the Dragon Ball Z.
Well, it depends.
I mean, presumably,
I
but
mean-
like, what is a Dragon Ball?
You don't want to know.
Like,
There's like
You don't want to know, Shalene.
is that how baby dragons are made?
All
Yeah.
I know is it's very King Missile. Apparently they detach. There's 7 or 8. They get scattered around the world, and then all of Dragon Ball Z is about finding all of them. Apparently.
All right, what else you got for us?
On April 9th, we have Dangerous Driving, which is very
Oh.
Atari.
That's what I was doing this morning.
Sounds right up my alley. Yeah.
It's available on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Also on April 9th, you can get Falcon Age for PlayStation 4, PS, VR, and Hearthstone Rise of Shadows on PC and mobile. Also, Shovel Knight Showdown is also available on April 9th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac.
Wow, I'm gonna play that on Mac, man. Shovel Knight Showdown. Boy, that just rolls off the tongue.
Shovel Knight actually looks really good. Someday I'm gonna play it.
I just imagine you're a knight riding in on a noble steed with a shovel.
Basically, yeah, that's it. Basically,
Hi ho,
instead of a
silver!
sword, you have a shovel.
Away!
Think about getting whacked in the face with the pan part of a shovel while like a dude is at full gallop on horseback. Yeah, that would knock you down.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Is this because you don't want to do schoolwork? You're like, someone knock me out.
Yeah, please kill me. Please.
A red dot. So anyway, also on April 9th, you get Phoenix Wright, WRIGHT, Ace Attorney Trilogy, which sounds
Cool.
like I really want to play that.
That sounds actually pretty cool. I like kind of like law-based like courtroom movies and stuff like that. So
Someday
that's
I'm
really
gonna
what
play
it
these
is.
games. Yeah, it's absolutely, you do cases. You're a lawyer, and you go through
Yes.
cases. You got to find the culprit. There's a lot of pointing. It looks great.
I would rather this be a which one was the Attorney at Law? Was it Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law? I would much rather it be a Harvey Birdman game, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, on April 10th, you can get for the PC or Switch The Mystery of Woolly Mountain, which sounds like your uncle's favorite game. And also on April 10th, you get Hunt and Seek, which also goes along with that theme.
Hunt
for
and
PC.
sneak.
Hunt and Sneak.
Hunt and
Hunt and
sneak.
Sneak, and I was being really nasty. On April 11th for the PC, you can get Weedcraft Inc., which I'm assuming is about pot.
I
It's
mean,
about, it's about the ganja.
maybe it could also be about someone who weeds their garden very
See,
industriously.
this is the Shalene coming into it. Like, it's actually a video game about pulling weeds.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You just
it's
sit.
totally a pot game.
Yeah. Is it really? Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta Google this now. I'm curious. Is it Canadian made? It's probably Canadian
I
made.
don't know.
Or it was
Is it
it
like
was
a
made in
drug
Colorado.
dealing simulator, or is it like a
It's a growing sim, but it's very
growing
cartoony.
sim? Okay.
Wow, that's actually really cool. So, like, if you can't grow pot legally in your state, you can just get Weedcraft and do it that way. It's actually 15% off on Steam right now, just so you know.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Also, that was also available April 11th was Earth Defense Force Iron Rain for PlayStation 4. And on April 12th, you could have gotten the Nintendo Labo VR kit for the Switch, which, by the way, do you remember how I was like ragging on, hey, let's buy cardboard? The Labo thing is actually pretty dope.
I regret not ordering this. I'm going to look for one on Sunday, I think, when I go to town.
That is probably the best business decision that Nintendo has ever made. Let's take recycled materials and sell it for a crap ton of money and make millions and millions of dollars on it.
But even still, my wife got it for Christmas, and the cardboard's really good quality. It really is a good quality. It's and it all fits together. There's a little clicky thing. It's really cool.
I have a question. Is Nintendo Labo actually made of recycled materials? I just assumed that it was, given the day and age we live in. I'd be curious what percentage is actually like recycled materials. Is this like a net zero initiative? Something blah blah blah.
I highly doubt that.
Think so.
Yeah, the machines that are actually powered by like small children and like fossil fuels, nuclear plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Joseph Tass says the thing that sucks with the Labo VR is there's no strap to hold it to your head. You have to actually physically hold it to your face.
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting.
I'm absolutely gonna get one, you guys.
See, I would probably totally like improvise because it's cardboard and probably really light. So I just put some tape around there and off you go.
I like a band. There's a band called Lightning Bolt where the singer's the drummer, and he literally before every show he duct tapes the microphone to his face.
See? How easy would that be?
Yikes.
There you go, Shalene. Let's just get a VR kit and tape it to your face.
But that would hurt so bad.
Yeah, but you could play Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission all day.
Can't believe you got that name right.
It would hurt so bad though when you took it off. Like,
well, I mean,
I wouldn't
never
have
take
any
it
hair
off.
left. It would just take all my hair.
Asher Dusk says staple it on.
There you go. That's humane.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better.
Staple it to your children.
Gracious.
Hold still, thwack.
Yeah, Mom, my head hurts.
Did you guys ever watch the remake of Get Smart?
No, that who's in it? It's no, I've seen it.
The Rock and Steve Carell and then
Steve Carell. Yeah.
Girl.
I think I saw like part of it.
The one part where The Rock does take a stapler and whack some guy in the head with a piece of paper, staple it to his forehead.
Yes.
I imagine it would be satisfying to do to someone that you really dislike, but also really painful on their part. Anyway, April 16th, which isn't out yet, we're finally in the stuff that hasn't come out yet, is World War Z for PC, PlayStation 4, and
How
Xbox.
is World War Z not out yet? People have been playing World War Z for like 10 years.
What?
Oh no, I'm thinking of Daisy.
Daisy, yeah.
Okay, now is this based on the original story?
I don't know. Max Brooks at this point, I think,
I'm
is
looking.
like far distanced himself from this stupid IP because the movie was awful.
I actually really liked the movie.
Oh, it was bad.
Don't judge me.
Make a big old human tower of zombies and crawl over the wall.
I like.
Isn't that what happened though in the book?
No. I'm thinking.
No.
Oh, what am I thinking of? That movie with Tom Cruise.
I remember there being like a pile of zombies so big that they were getting over the wall.
Maybe
no.
like
What's
dead ones, but not to where they like teamed up and they're like, all right, zombie
yeah,
pyramid.
it was dead
3,
ones, yeah.
2.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of a different movie. What's that movie with Tom Cruise?
Oh,
with those
War of the Worlds.
War of
that's
the
the one.
Worlds.
Yeah, War of the
Oh,
Worlds is not. It's not.
That was a pretty good movie, that Tom Cruise version of War of the Worlds.
Oh, it was
I liked
great.
that
It was
one.
great.
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah. I liked it. Okay,
great.
maybe
The
I retract my
audiobook for
statement.
World War Z is narrated in part by Alan Alda.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Hawkeye. Also on April 16th, you can get My Time at Portia.
Portia.
Portia?
Portia, that's a car.
Jinx, by
Portia.
the way, Shalene.
My Time at Portia on for Xbox One and Switch. Also on April 16th, you can get World of Warships, not to be confused with World War Z. So it's World of War Z Warships Legends, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, also on April 16th. But then if you combine that with Wastelands 2, you get World War Z Wasteland 2, World of Warships Legends, also on April 16th for the Switch.
Stop it.
Cuphead comes out on the Switch for on April 18th.
Now that would be awesome.
It's great.
Are you going to get it, Shalene?
Probably not. Probably not.
Like, Cuphead is a serious, intense game.
I feel like
it would be pretty sweet on the Switch, would it
using
not?
the Joy-Con, though, to play Cuphead does not sound like a joyful experience. That's,
A pain.
I see what you did there. Okay.
it sounds like possibly the worst. So
Okay.
I'm sure it would be good with the Pro Controller, but I tend to use my Switch more as a mobile gaming device.
Apparently there's going to be a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel.
Oh, really? I need to finish Horizon Zero Dawn.
Me too. Yep. Sorry, it just popped up in my headlines. So, breaking news. Is this the first time?
It might be.
Apparently, a Star Wars actress, Jaina Gavankar,
Janina
Yes.
Gavankar?
who played Iden Versio in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Tatooine in Horizon Zero Dawn's DLC, more or less confirmed the sequel as well in production.
Neat.
Wow. Is she like actually allowed to do that?
She said, "It's incredible. Wait until you see the sequel." She said of the series, as posted on Reddit, "You're gonna die."
Well, it's not the first time that a voice actor has leaked the
I
existence
know some
of a video
secrets.
game.
You're gonna die.
But isn't she like under embargo?
Well, probably, but
Well, we can look forward to that.
it's not the first time that a voice actor has leaked a game.
Yeah. Good point.
Oh, right. We're doing a thing. April 23rd. Mortal Kombat 5,000. No, it's actually 11.
Which is might as well be 5,000.
PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. And then we get on April 25th, Imperator. Rome.
Yeah. You see, if people have trouble saying the first word, it's not going to go over well. Anyways.
Imperator. Because it makes me want to say dirty things. Because it just doesn't
Imperator.
flow right.
Imperator. I feel like that's like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Mom, don't come in.
Imperator? I barely
imperating.
knew her.
Don't come in. I'm
Actually.
imperating.
Oh,
That is
no.
enough iced
You
tea
might
for
try
you.
Imperator.
Imperator. Oh. Oops.
I totally thought Imperator.
Oh, that was
That was
really
I
funny.
feel like that would be a gun in Fallout that... Never mind. Anyways, next thing.
Vendor, we were way off.
That John Denver, man.
Days Gone comes out on PlayStation 4 finally.
I
on,
really want to
April
play
26th.
that game.
And also on April 26th, Box Boy and Box Girl for the Switch.
A game about intrepid grocery baggers.
Really?
No.
I wouldn't have put it past it.
It's a game about literal boxes.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like
A box boy and a box girl.
Box girl.
Yeah.
Well, fine. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Good job, Rick.
Well, that was all of them. There were only a couple bad ones in this one.
You did amazing. I was really proud of you. So let's move on with the rest of the
Thank
news.
you. Thank you.
So I tend to be the one on the podcast who tries to give companies the benefit of a doubt for not having evil intentions, right? Business is business, and I understand that. But guys, Activision, they need to be stopped.
Oh man,
This is some seriously creepy stuff. Have you guys heard about this?
no,
Probably not.
tell us all the
Okay.
things.
So I'm going to read this. This is from Kotaku. A story published by the Washington Post Tuesday night revealed that game publisher Activision Blizzard has been offering third-party fertility and pregnancy tracking services to its employees and then receiving their
What?
anonymized data back in return.
That's a
Why?
weird thing to offer.
Yeah.
Wait a
Ovia
minute.
Health is the name of the wellness apps that they are using. And they input their personal information. The users input their personal information during conception, during pregnancy, and documenting their child's health care. And the anonymized aggregate data goes to their employers.
Oh man, I could just see everybody around the water cooler. Oh man, Sally, man, she's 9 centimeters, guys.
Just wait, vendor, just wait. So here's a little quote from Blizzard's Vice President of Global Benefits, Activision Blizzard's Vice President of Global Benefits, Milt Ezard. He said, "Each time we introduced something, there was a bit of an outcry. You're prying into our lives." But he noted that employees' attitudes improved since this program was originally offered in 2014. And he went on to say, "Eventually, people understood it's all voluntary, there's no gun to your head, and we're going to reward you if you choose to do it." The company reportedly offers employees a $1 gift card each day the app is used. And I just wanted to go on a little bit. Where is it?
Why is it incentivized?
Yeah, what's the
Okay. I need to find this. Hang on. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
okay. So I'm a little. So first of all, this is weird. Second of all, why is it incentivized? Because if there's no gun to your head, right?
Right.
Why are you paying people to use the app? Why do you want their data? What
The
company out there is paying your company to get pregnancy data?
The only thing I can think of is that like sometimes companies will fire females who become pregnant, so they don't have to pay out benefits.
Yep.
So like,
Yeah,
the
but
only-
at this point you're already pregnant though, and that's
Well,
kind of known.
that and they're paying people to use. Are they making like a pregnancy sim?
This is some shady stuff
It's
going on.
Weird.
This is shady, man. I would wager a guess. I would wager a guess that this is something similar to what happened with Facebook, where there was a third party under the back alley
True.
company that was paying Facebook money to collect data on people. And if that's the case, man, Activision, your stock is say goodbye to your
Okay,
company.
here it is. This is another quote from Mr. Ezard, and this is the one that I really wanted to. It was from the Washington Post article. "I want them to have a healthy baby because it's great for our business experience," Ezard said, "rather than having a baby who's in the neonatal ICU where she's not able to focus much on work."
What?
Can
Say
you
that
try being a human instead, Mr. Ezard? Maybe?
Say that one more time. I
Yes,
kinda
can you read that again? I need to like process that a little bit more.
"I want them to have a healthy baby because it's great for our business experience," Ezard said, "rather than having a baby who's in the neonatal ICU where she's not able to focus much on work."
So really,
Ah.
they want to make sure that people are going to come back to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is with companies lately? Why are they all so dumb? For
That
lack-
That is
Awful,
seriously messed
guys.
up.
That is
I'm just
awful.
So I'm just looking at the Ovia app online,
Did you download it?
and no, it's like Ovia Health. It's like a health benefits company.
But I just don't like what. Why?
There was a lot of information in here about tracking menstrual cycles and
I would
Your-
love to
No,
see
as
the
we
fine
sleep,
that
print.
your sexual activity.
Ezra knows that if Cindy's being a little testy, he'll check his data and be like, "Oh, that's why."
Oh,
Yeah.
They're trying again. That's why.
I don't. What is it with companies being so ridiculously stupid lately?
And you know what? Here's the thing. This
Like,
is it. This is it right here. Is that we're transitioning into a new era of data protection and data privacy that we have nothing in
place
control of
Yeah.
and nothing in place for, and we're totally unprepared. And it's
I honestly think that like most people would not mind giving up like personalization data. Like I've said this before, where you watch, you know, people would watch science movies, and there would be like this AI or VI assistant that was yours. It was personalized to you, and you would get home, and it's like, "Welcome home, master. I've created your perfect drink the way that you like it." Blah blah blah. But all of that works because of the data that you provide to the net. Like that's how those systems work in those worlds, and we're all
Yeah.
like, "Wow, I'd love a personal assistant that would just give me everything I want before I need it." And when we finally get pieces of that, when we finally get VI assistants and things like that, all of a sudden we're like, well, we don't want our data out there, but we want the convenience. And I think all it is the transparency. Like I would bet you that people would be more apt to give away private data if they knew where it was going and what it was being used for versus you just got to trust us.
I would 100% guess that there's some background stuff going on here with Activision, that they're not telling their employees, or they are telling their employees in some sort of passive way that they don't know about.
I'm so glad Bungie got out.
I think somebody needs to do some investigative reporting and see if there was any way to connect the data they've collected from this health app to the layoffs.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. But I'm so glad Bungie skated out, man, when they did.
Yeah. And I would just like to say anecdotally, because I work in the healthcare sector and I do health research, this would never pass from an employer in Canada. Never, ever, ever, ever would this pass, because it's health information. I mean, there's certain privacies that kind of take it to the next level when it's health information. And like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's bananas. And I was just so horrified that he straight up admitted, you know, I'm worried about these women's pregnancies, not because I'm a human being and I want them to be happy and have healthy children, but because if they have to go to the neonatal ICU, then they're not working. They're not working on the next Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Which we know will be,
well, anyways,
so there's no defending this from my
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
that was intense.
But we should move on because we're gonna earn our explicit tag. We keep talking about this.
Oh dear. So if your PSN name maybe earned you an explicit tag or something, I don't know where I was going with that.
That's great. Keep going.
But you can change your PSN name now. That's finally a real thing that you can do. The process is pretty simple. Open your PS4, go to settings, account management, account information, profile, online ID, and then you get to choose your new
That's one hell of a breakdown.
But there are some caveats because this may affect some games. Your trophy information, save data, and access to purchases is tied in some cases to your username. So that could be a problem. They have a list online of the games that are affected by these issues. Some of the titles include Little Big Planet 3, Golf Club 2, Everybody's Golf, and Onrush. But there are some more available. You can check that out on the Sony blog.
And I would just like to say congratulations to Ben Yannick, who, or not Ben Yannick, Captain Bones, who changed his PSN name after 10 years of being stuck with the same damn name.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw a post on Reddit where someone was like, it's finally time to grow up, and they had that same screen up of like, you know, get ready to change your name, and the original name was Mad Boy like 667.
Oh, damn.
when no one was mad.
This
Man,
is-
667.
yes!
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh man. You mean I gotta get rid of my hotness bot username? Just kidding. Just kidding. That's not actually my username.
That's so good. Are we friends on PSN, Vendor?
Probably.
I
Probably. You should
know.
change your PSN username to the Shalene.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Do you remember how in the beginning of the show we were talking about stuff to do after the show?
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest our next news segment.
Sea of Thieves.
Hey.
Yes, we should maybe consider returning to Sea of
Should
Thieves.
Probably
guys.
install that.
Yes, because there's some great stuff coming. They have outlined a 2-year plan for Sea of Thieves.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
Mm-hmm. There is an anniversary update that's going to be released on April 30th. That's going to add a story mode and a competitive PvP mode. So that sounds pretty exciting.
Honestly, surprised that doesn't come sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's going to be Tall Tales. That is a quest line of 9 stories that will take you to the Shores of Gold. And you have to find an ancient artifact called Shroudbreaker. And it's cool. Pirate crews, ancient ruins, new characters. It looks pretty neat. Looks pretty interesting. And the game's executive producer said, we've tried to make it so each tale triggers different emotions. There's a tale of fear, a tale of love. We really wanted to try different things with each of them, says Jonit. Yeah, looks really cool. They're inspired by Indiana Jones and the Goonies.
Oh.
Actually, that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really great. Like, I love the Goonies. Sorry, Rick, go ahead.
No. I just want to. I want to take a quick side tangent after you guys are done your thoughts, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna finish off by saying that they've added some new voice actors. Many of the original NPCs were voiced by Rare's developers, by just people that were working on the game. Nice. But they've enlisted some professional voice actors to do the characters in this new update. So
okay, so if you guys want to play Sea of Thieves, I actually have to install. And I don't remember how.
There's also the new Fallout 76 quest. So we can check that out as well. The Sheep's Squatch.
Yeah. Back to our regular scheduled broadcast.
Take us on a tangent, Rick.
Well, no, it has to do with this. So we were playing The Division, Shalene, the other night.
Yes, we were.
And we were talking about how like it's so nice to play a game that's very like a 1980s action movie where there's the bad guy. There's no reason, there's no motivation behind these bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
A ton of them. There's no logic to it. They're just kind of there for fodder for you to shoot at. Yeah, and that's just kind of how 80s action movies was. It was just like, people pouring out of doorways just to die at the hands of Arnold with his M60 machine gun and commando, with no rhyme or reason really whatsoever for the plot. They've taken the president's daughter, but they never really tell you why. They just did. And it's kind of nice that the games like that exist, where it's not story heavy and you don't have to really think about that sort of thing. But the trend that games are doing, like Red Dead Redemption or Fallout 76 or even Destiny and Guild Wars, and I was talking to my wife about this, I was like, they require you to like they build their games on the idea that this is the only game that you're ever going to play.
Yes,
and they
do.
build their content in that regard, and it's getting so exhausting because like Guild Wars just released like this new dragon mount. You can ride around a dragon, and it's like, oh, that'd be so cool to have if I didn't have to play 20 hours to get it or something. Or like Destiny has these really cool weapons that you can get, and I understand having some exclusivity there where there are guns and things that you need to do, but there's even like like some of Destiny 2's year of the gambler or whatever it was, the Gambit stuff that they're doing right now. Like you have to play Gambit and then you get these tokens and you take them the tokens to another like format of Gambit, play that, and you turn them in for things, and then you can turn them in for specific armor pieces, but then you got to collect all the sets of armor pieces. It's like, as a kid, I spent enough time at McDonald's trying to collect all the damn toys. I don't want to spend my adult life doing like an amplified version of that. And I I don't
I
know if
get
you
it.
guys are
I get
tired
it.
of it, but like
They
Sea of
just
Thieves is the
they
same
want you
thing.
to spend money though. It's a tool
I
to get you to spend money.
Yeah, that's
But
part
not
of it.
even
Yeah.
because Destiny 2 doesn't make money from it because you pay for the season pass, you get it all for free.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a
But could you
crickety,
pay for some of that stuff though?
You don't. No, not really. No, you could
There's
pay
no
for.
way to pay for that stuff.
No, it's all just in-game grind.
You
Hmm.
can't pay for XP boosts or
No, no.
okay, well, never mind.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even Division 2 requires you, like Division 2, it's only cosmetic stuff that you
Mhm.
buy, and anything else is just grind. And I don't know if you guys are getting tired of it, but I'm getting tired of like having companies make games
Yeah.
that are just, and that's why God of War was so refreshing.
Mhm.
I think
Well,
because you're
that's
like in Hellblade.
mhm.
Well, I think that there's certainly, I mean, you bring up a good point, and I think there's certainly a psychological aspect to it, in that we, you know, are always going for that next best thing, and we get that dopamine response from getting that purple shirt that was like so hard to get or something, you know, and like, well, I mean, I reference clothes because, I mean, Shalene knows, she knows.
Of course.
I mean, would you look at those shoes? Yeah,
Fashion Wars, man.
it took me like 69 hours to get those shoes. Like, but I think you make a good point, and one of the considerations too is that I've noticed, anecdotally, I've noticed as I've gotten older, I don't really spend the time in getting those incentives, and I don't really care about it,
Mhm.
because I've got priorities.
Yeah.
And like as a kid, you know, I would play Pokemon for 9 hours a day, and get all of the different things, and it would just like, I don't know how people who 100% every game that they play and they're like working adults have time to do that.
I really think, guys, that they're not necessarily targeting people like us with these games. People like us who want to play a variety of games and want to check out all the new cool stuff. I think they're targeting people that will only buy one or two games in the year. You know, that's their
Yeah.
target
Right.
audience.
Yeah, and
And
I
you
think like you make a good point, and I think that it doesn't have to be that for us, right? And I think that's the beauty of video games, is that you can play it any way you want to play it, and still get enjoyment out of it.
Well, you're right. And it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for every AAA game that's come out that's been big has been like that.
These
And
burnout games.
yeah, and you know that's why I was so happy with Metro Exodus because it wasn't that at all. And that's why I'm very happy with the Outer Worlds because they're not making that sort of game. They're like it's a couple hours, you play it, and it should have high replay value, but you don't grind your life away on it. And I'm so happy that there's a couple of game companies still developing games in this regard. Like I said, God of War I think did a very good job at creating a very digestible game. I wanted Red Dead to be like that, but woof, did I get in over my head with that. Or to coin a phrase from that era, I bit off more than I could chew. But it was something I thought about because a lot of these games are really cool things, but they just take forever to get to, and then
I'm kind of having an epiphany right now because I realize that
breakfast at Epiphanies.
this is why I play Ark all the time. And it's not because of the incentives. It's not because of the grindiness and the incentives. There are no incentives with Ark.
No, there isn't.
Ark is just Ark. It's there. It's a world. You live. You die a lot. You live some more. You spend time with people, and that's what it is. There's no achievements. I mean, there is kind of, but for the most part, I just started hunting trophies for the first time, like last month after 600 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
So like I play the game because I enjoy spending time in it with other people. Whereas, and I notice this now with Sea of Thieves and Fallout 76 and Astroneer and, well, maybe not Astroneer. It's kind of an anomaly. No Man's Sky is that there's constant achievements, endless achievements. It's this just chasm, this like, and it's exhausting. And I know how much there is to do, and I look at it that way, and then I don't achieve anything. and I don't get anything out of the game. And this is why I actually haven't even completed the main storyline for Fallout 76. God, what have you done to me, Rick? Why did you have to say that? Do you realize what you've done? Anyways.
Fallout 76, I think, is a lot better at, because they haven't had the ability or the pedigree of creating a game like that yet. And I think that what they're putting out is very much attainable by just a couple hours of gameplay, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think that that's just where I loved Destiny, but man, I'm done with. Oh, vendor in the chat. Why did you
physics? Sorry, typo.
Moving on. Moving right along.
For those people who don't know what's happening, I'm not going to tell you because you need to tune in live because that's where the real action is.
All right, screw it. We're done. Move on, Shalene.
So, Jedi Fallen Order looks really promising, guys. It's the new game that is coming from I don't even know. Is it coming from Respawn?
Shalene's all shook
yeah,
up.
it's Respawn. Chris Avallone is one of 6 writers working on this game. It's going to be a single-player, narrative-based game. It looks really cool. This is the poster. Doesn't it look great? It looks good.
It looks beautiful.
It looks very promising to me. I have high hopes for this one. It's been a long time since we've had a good, solid single-player Star Wars experience. And I'm very hopeful about this. Very, very hopeful. So
the really cool thing about game concept art is that it matches the game now for the most part.
Yeah, close too.
Like what you see is actually what you get.
You're right. There's so many games that I bought based on cover art back in the day. And
they were
then
like
you get them and it's all 8-bit. It's all garbage.
It looks like God of War, but you open up and play Qbert.
Basically. It's so good.
What was the last good Star Wars game? Let's really think about this.
The Force Unleashed.
Really, though?
The Force Unleashed was
I've never played any
great.
of them, so I can't really weigh in, but...
It was good.
Was it not Rogue Squadron?
I never played Rogue Squadron.
Or Pod Racing?
Pod Racing was amazing.
Pod Racing was
That
awesome.
would be fun.
The Force Unleashed was good, though. I will die on this hill.
I haven't played that one yet. But I really loved, and it does not hold up today at all, but the Shadows of the Empire for the Nintendo 64. Boy, that was hard as anything, but it was a lot of fun.
Great.
Cool.
Well, I'm really hopeful
Thanks,
about
guys.
Jedi Fallen
I really
Order.
love
very-
I really love
very,
Star Wars, but I've never actually played any of the games. I actually just watched the entire series of movies while I was coding earlier this month.
I think it's about
Prequels
time
too?
for me to watch them again.
Prequels too. Yeah.
I don't
They're
hate
so
the
bad.
prequels. I don't hate
So-
them.
They're so bad they're good.
Here's what was funny. The prequel, me and my wife were on a short vacation for our anniversary, and the third prequel, episode 3, whatever that was on, and I was like, oh gosh, these are terrible. She's like, they're not that bad as everyone thinks, and she kept defending them. And then we watched it for a while, and she goes, oh, this is really bad. Like she watched it with an adult mind, and like the acting was like how could you act that bad? They're A-listers, man, and they're just
But they were at the start of their career.
it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, that's the thing though. This is why I can't get into the Marvel movies and all of the other like A movies that are out now. I love that terribleness about the old 80s and 90s movies. I just love that. I love that it was just so poorly made, but that was the best in that era.
I don't know. I'm hit and miss on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. I love old movies.
I like different things about all the Star Wars things. There's no real Star Wars things that I hate, that I straight up hate. I like different things about all of them. Like, episode 1 has some problems, but it's also got Qui-Gon, right?
Mr. Jar Jar.
How rude.
I gotta admit, I was obsessed with episode 1 when I was a kid. I mean, who was pod racing, and it was like actually half decent 3D animation at the time. and droids just getting blown apart. So yeah, I mean, I loved the originals more, but episode 1 was just like, that's amazing. And for
I
some
was Queen Amidala for Halloween like 3 years running.
really,
I used to buy Lay's chips had this promotion on where you would be able to get little cards of all the characters in the movies in the chip bags. And I mean, that really started my like chip addiction when I was younger, which I mean now is probably contributing to diabetes, but that's beside the point. And they had these little collector like pictures, and you could get like, I had like 6 of Jar Jar Binks and like Anakin, and it was just awesome. I loved it.
Fantastic.
I had like the Legos, like the Pod Racers and the Naboo Starfighter for Legos and stuff. So yeah, like as a kid, those prequels were fine, but like as an adult, you go back and watch them, and it's not good. So I'm hoping that this game does really well. I mean, the Battlefront series didn't do very good on their reboots. So Chris Avalone's a good. He's got a good pedigree. So.
He's an amazing writer. He really is. Yeah. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
I'm really gravitating towards more of these games that have sort of like kind of like Detroit Become Human. And these other games that are sort of episodic.
Story-based, yeah.
Oh, man, I just love that.
Did you try Indigo yet, Shalene?
No, I was waiting for vendors so we could do it like on a Sunday stream.
Really do that game.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I gifted Indigo Prophecy to Shalene because it's written what other games that he did?
David Cage.
And he did Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quantic Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Indigo, so I figured if I liked it and I didn't like the other ones, you should like it, I would think.
I hope so. I think we'll like it. We need to get back on our story games, Bender. It's been so long.
Oh. Speaking of getting back on things.
So guys, do you want to talk at all about the episode 9 trailer?
I haven't
seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet? It's pretty good.
I've been working all day.
Well, I watched it like seconds before the show started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we watch it? Is that what we're supposed to do, or?
Oh, I mean, we can. I mean Rick would have to edit it out.
Here.
It's probably not, yeah. But anyways, I guess we're not talking about that.
We should do a movie podcast.
We could do like a special episode someday and talk about movies.
I mean, my whole life is movie quotes. Why wouldn't I do a podcast?
Do we just make a podcast on the podcast that we don't already have a lot of time for?
We'll talk about it later.
I mean, is that a thing you want, listeners? A movie podcast from We Just Love Films?
I guess we're doing a tri-weekly thing.
We Just Love Films?
I don't got time for this.
We Just Love Games.com info.
One episode a month of each show.
Oh, man.
Guys, let's GameStock. I'm going to play the bumper, so don't talk for a minute. Bender, tell us what's going on in the stock market.
Well, guys, the market is actually doing pretty good. Overall, I think the market is doing pretty well. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Canada's stock market because I don't really care about anything else. No, just kidding. But from the information that I could find on how the market is really doing, and the same goes for the US, is that the TSX is Canada's main stock exchange. It hit a new high today. What is so funny?
Pennsylvania in the chat says, Shalene, why do you have German iron crosses on your bed? And I look up and she does.
It's a Pendleton Native American design.
I know it's not. It's funny. Sorry.
It's a Native American design because I live in New Mexico.
Well,
anyways,
Germans did steal a lot from Native American design.
That whooshing sound is the wind going out of my sails. Thank you, Rick.
It was funny.
Anyways, back to what matters. The stock market, guys, is doing good. You should invest your money in the stock market. Everything is doing really well, and that's usually or primarily because of the gains in the energy sector and the financial world. I would also like to point out that Apple is moving into the gaming sector, which is a little bit worrisome for I think for investors. I think this could be really disruptive to the industry. But for the most part, everything is doing pretty good, except for Sony.
Yes,
Sony is
the
doing
one that
terrible.
I bought. Yes.
Sony is doing terrible.
Darn you,
actually-
Sony.
They're actually up $1.60 today. They closed at $46.99, but overall their 6-month average is actually pretty bad. They took a deep plunge back in March and they have never recovered since. So we'll see how they play out in the next 6 months. We'll keep watching that stock. Microsoft is closing at $120.95 today, up 62 cents. They're doing quite well. I think this time last year they were selling at around $90. So they're up 30 bucks, which is pretty good at a market cap of 928 billion shares. I predict actually that this stock is going to do really well in the next 5 years. We're seeing a lot of new emergent technologies, folding phones and new VR systems and things like that. And I think that they have huge potential. I would also like to point out, thanks to Shalene, that these stock prices are US based. So Nintendo, although trading at $300 US in Japan, the US company is up 2% and closed at $37.95 today, which is making its way back up from still lower trading prices quite significantly compared to this same time last year. So they're trading at a US market cap of 40 billion shares. Ubisoft is up 17 cents. Woo, big whopper. 18.33 they closed at today, still at half of their all-time high this time last year. And it seems that the next 3 stocks, which I'm going to talk about, are kind of fluctuating in parallel. Activision closed at $47.28. I'm really curious to see how their stock is going to perform in the next coming weeks with this whole pregnancy thing coming out. But this stock appears to be generally mellowing out. They don't have a big market cap. They're at 3.8 million shares. So they're pretty volatile. EA is trading at $101. They're up at $125. Their 6-month moving average is actually doing pretty good. But they seem to be back after their big kerfuffle, so that's a good thing. Take-Two Interactive is doing terribly with the current share volume of 1.3 million shares. They sold and closed today at 94.11 and are trying their best to hold on to that over the last 6 months. But there's one thing that kind of came to my mind, and maybe you guys can weigh in on this, is the trade agreements and renegotiations with China. So my question is do you think that if there is sort of like a cancellation in like tech policies or politics in tech transfer with the China trade agreement, do you think that this could change things for content creators that can't actually make and sell their product elsewhere, like EA, Activision, Take-Two? They might be able to get their content approved in China without sort of like, Tencent Corp taking over that. What do you think about that? Thoughts?
I have no opinion on this. Like, I don't even understand some of the things you just said.
So tech transfer, like China and US are in negotiations for trade agreements, as is Canada and US. So I think we've kind of settled NAFTA. Well, I wouldn't say settled, but anyways. But this could mean some pretty potential big things for these 3 little companies. While EA and Activision aren't really that little, but I think that this could mean some pretty big things, considering that the demographic of gamers in China is like massive.
It is,
right?
Yeah, it is.
It's huge.
Yeah.
This is a whole untapped market, and if these policies just come crashing down, like that opens the floodgates for opportunity for these companies. But
right, but either way, even if we don't have a tech transfer sort of system in place, I mean, they're just gonna kind of steal our code anyway.
Yeah,
and make games.
Thanks, Nintendo.
So you'll get like Fall In
72. Fall in 72. Anyways, yeah, it was just kind of I was reading through the forums and seeing how the stock market was doing this week, and that was one of the things that actually has made the gaming sector quite volatile this week, is the negotiations with China. So keep an eye on things. They're certainly probably going to fluctuate in the coming weeks. But that's all I've got for Gamestock.
Great job, Vendortron. Thank you for bringing us this lovely stock report. I love that we do the stock report. I know we kind of stumbled into this segment of podcasts, but I enjoy it quite a bit. So
I know. I feel like Angus Watts.
Thank
Do you guys know who Angus Watts is?
No.
Nope.
Oh, he's like a big Canadian financial guru for Bank of Montreal. And when I was younger, he would always come on. He'd have a 5-minute segment on the news, and he would talk about all the stocks, all the stock markets, the S&P, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQs, and he would just go on and on and on and on and on. It would just talk really fast, and I would have no idea what he was talking about. So I kind of feel like that.
I feel like you should introduce this segment of GameStock and be like, "Hi, this is GameStock with Beef Ohm."
Yeah. Anyways. This is not insider trading. We are not professionals in the stock market. Don't take our advice. Take it at face value, you guys. Take it at face value.
Yeah, I bought
have you
those
seen our
3
faces?
Sony
There's
stocks.
not a
It was
lot
the
of value.
worst mistake I ever made, guys. Worst mistake I ever made.
Yeah, Sony is performing very poorly. Somebody was saying the other day, I was having beers with a friend last night, actually, and he was talking about how he thinks Sony is going to go out of business in the next 5 years.
That ain't gonna happen.
And I was like,
No.
really?
No.
What if he was right though?
What if he was right?
Mm,
Well,
mm,
in
mm.
that case, I better sell my 3 Sony stocks like now.
Mhm.
Or don't sell and then like claim a loss on your next tax return.
Mhm. I
You
don't
didn't
know.
hear that.
All the money I made on my EA stock, I've lost it on Sony. I had a
She
single EA stock and I made like $60 on it.
Lost
And then
it all.
I bought 3 Sony stocks and they've just gone steadily down. So,
Oh, it's so good.
You're
So good.
gambling. So that makes sense.
Anyways.
What about like claiming a loss on taxes? You got to remember that she's from, she's from like a very independent type state. So she would probably file her taxes and be like, I'm filing a loss on my taxes. And they're like, but why did you claim all of your taxes that you paid as a loss? It's like, because I don't have it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
okay.
what's next?
What's on your stack, Rick? What you been
My
playing?
stack? Anything that's not Fallout 76 that I've been playing has been the Division 2.
Tell us.
Yeah,
about it.
I saw some of the screenshots that you guys
Glitter.
had posted. They're glorious.
Oh, it was so good. It was so
with
good.
that glitter and the poof. That was
And
just
it's
like,
extra funny because my character is like all serious, being a tough sniper,
and usually
Rick's
it's
is
the other way.
throwing glitter in the air, just being fabulous.
I love it. I almost want to play it.
So let's talk about.
Is the menu system still clunky though? Like that's
A little bit.
yeah, it is.
But it's really hard to fit in. I honestly think that it's still clunky, vendor. It's still clunky.
Mm-hmm.
So the Division 2, let's chat a little bit about the Division 2. I started playing the Division 2 in alpha.
That's right.
I was a part of the closed alpha, and then I got into the closed beta, and then I got into the open beta, and then I bought the game. So one thing that I wanted to point out when I was playing the alpha of the Division 2 is that it worked better than Fallout 76's release. And it was funny. And that's even considering that when you attached a silencer to your weapon, your barrel would disappear. So you just had a floating suppressor out in front of your gun.
That's so good.
But it worked out pretty well. So
But the Division is not open world, is it?
yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
open world.
Mhm.
Yep.
I always thought it was like you were on a path and that was the path that you took.
No, we were just on a path because we were following Rick.
Mm.
Yeah.
You Sherpa.
It feels like a path because we follow our Sherpa.
Right. Yeah.
But we could have gone anywhere in New York, really.
Huh.
And so this one takes place in DC, and it's the same concept. I mean, literally they kind of, not that they copy and pasted it. I mean, the game looks gorgeous, but a lot of the familiar aspects are there. Things that they did change is that your skills are a lot more support based than offensive based, which is a jarring thing if you're used to playing solo. I mean, I played Division 1 solo. I've been trying to work on Division 2 solo. But when you're trying to like do it's a side mission where there's 3 supply crates that drop down and you have to defend them all and then open them at the same time as guys are coming in. It's very difficult to do that by oneself because guys are constantly coming to attack you while you're pressing and holding F to open this crate. And I end up dying a lot. And so, the game is definitely feels like it's geared more towards multiplayer. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about getting it. The other side of the coin is, like I said earlier in this episode, it's very much an 80s action flick where there are bad guys. You don't exactly know why hundreds of people would just decide to lay down their lives for a can of beans, but yet here they are. And it's like, man, this guy's killed 50 of us. I think I got him, and I don't, but the whole point of the game is that doesn't matter. They're just there to progress the conflict of the story. And the story is that the green virus, which was this like flu type, super flu, got distributed with with actual money, paper currency.
So the green virus and the dollar flu are the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the ongoing thing. And so that's what, killed everyone and stuff like that. And you're in DC at this point in the summertime. But that's all that matters. Like you're there to be Mr. Captain America or Mrs. Captain America, depending on who you pick. And you're just there to right wrongs. There are bad guys, there's good guys. There's no weird moral issues. There's no conversations to be had other than these guys took over the thing and we need to go get the thing back. Bruh.
There are no gray areas.
No.
You don't ever have to feel like you're wondering whether or not you're doing the right thing. And
it's refreshing. It's refreshing in the sense that, like, when you watch Commando and Arnold just uses that, the belt of ammo that only holds 25 rounds, but somehow he gets 130,000 rounds out of it. It's like watching that movie where you're like, clearly those are the bad guys and clearly that's the good guy. And it's kind of refreshing because it removes a lot of things. You're just enjoying the experience of, like, playing the game. And when you finally get past those weird isms, you realize that the 3 major factions of the game have very tactical differences in the way that they fight you. Some of them flank you like crazy. Some of them just run at you because they're not good. And some of them use other tactics. And it's a lot of fun to, like, try to combat that by yourself or with someone else, when me and Shalene were playing. So my experience is playing solo. When you first start out, it's quite difficult until you kind of start getting your gear squared away with how you want to, make your character. So typically in the game, I play a support character. I have a LMG or some sort of fully automatic weapon that will suppress enemies. Right. And then I usually carry an assault rifle or an SMG, depending on which gun I have. And then I always carry something to heal Shalene with as a skill.
I'm so sorry that you have to build your character thinking of reviving me.
But that's the whole point of an RPG is one person's a glass cannon, the other person's a healer. So the glass cannon is doing damage and tanking maybe and healing the person who's doing the most damage. And so in this one, there's a lot more skills to pick from, and they don't work quite the way that I would like them to. I really liked the Revive Dart.
Yeah, Revive Dart was good.
And that doesn't exist in this game anymore.
But there's Fernando the drone, though.
There is Fernando the drone. So it's a healing drone that if I pop the healing drone up, I can tell it to go heal Shalene or heal me. We've named him Fernando.
Yes, there was something in the air that night.
You guys, oh my God.
That song was stuck in my head, by the way.
That's terrible. Hey, just a side note. Did you guys know that Canadian money is technically like antimicrobial?
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
Of course it would be.
Because it's plastic. See, this is Sir Wilfrid Laurier right here.
I worked in
it's blue.
restaurants.
It smells like blueberries. You can smell it if you want.
I worked in restaurants for a lot of years. And sometimes you get money that's like super gross, right? Like,
I
money
often
that's
wonder
coming out of bronze,
how many G strings has this been in?
Yeah, money
About 30.
that's like damp, like the people take it out of their pocket and give it to you and it's damp.
Oh,
Wet.
you
Or
mean
then there's
moist?
yeah, like moist. Ugh. So I have definitely used sanitizing agents on money before. I've bleached money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's really cool that it's
We
plastic
used to
because
run
you
it
can
through the
just like
sanitizer and then hang them to dry.
people think you have some sort of operation going on. You got all these money like bills just hanging. Anyways, sorry, that was a side note. I just wanted to like share that. Sounds like you've been having some fun though playing.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention too, like, so this is a very American game. I mean, you're in DC, the capital of America. It's been taken over. You're there to take it back. There's no gray area. There's bad guys, there's good guys. You're a secret force meant to just kill the bad guys.
Have you seen Kevin Spacey while you're there?
No.
Oh, House of Cards reference.
Not
Never
gonna make
mind.
a rude joke. But yeah, so the other side of that coin is, and again, part of that moral thing that you don't even think of is, oh, these are other American citizens that you're killing.
Good
You're
point.
just killing Americans. That's all you're doing.
Good point.
Huh.
And so, but again, it's a clear cut. These are bad guys. These are good guys. So you don't even think about it. And what I love about this game is the world is the United States is devastated. The capital has fallen. Yet the only thing anyone cares about that plays this game is fashion wars. And
Yeah.
I love it to death. In this one now, you can get backpack trophies.
Oh, they're
Which
so
do you remember
cute.
in high school
Yes.
when you would walk around with the little plushy things you'd clip on the zippers of your backpack?
I had a little
are you
Darth Vader that
serial?
hung on my backpack for
Or like
years.
Invader Zim? Was very
Okay,
popular.
we have just entered a whole new realm of video gaming.
Well, now in the game, you can find backpack trophies that dingle dangle off of your backpack as you run around.
That's great.
I currently have a plushy hippo. I have the Capitol building rotunda. I have a gold bar. I have a gavel. I have the skeleton and the space shuttle.
Yes.
So
Man, you must just like jingle when you run.
Jingle jangle.
Like
jingle.
there is no stealth game play for you.
Oh,
Like,
this game has no stealth whatsoever. That's the other thing about it. It's not like one of those games where it's like you have your choice whether you're gonna go silent and take people down from behind or go loud and kill them all. Where even though they say that in the trailer, really the game kind of punishes you for going loud. It's not that at all. It's pretty much just loud all the time. You even shoot near someone with a silencer, they're like, "Oh, there he is." And it's fine because that really works. But you know, there's outfits that you can get in the game. When you get the completed outfit, you get a reward, and then if you complete that set of outfits, then you get another reward. And the only in-game currency that I've ever found that you can spend is just on outfits.
Yeah, that's good.
And weapon skins.
I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
fine.
hilarious. And emotes too. So that's how I got the glitter emote. I opened up a crate and I got the glitter emote where my character will literally throw glitter into the air with his hand and then wiggle his fingers as he pulls his hand down.
that is
It
some
is so
quality gaming
fabulous.
content right there.
So good.
A friend of mine who plays it on PlayStation was saying that the game's emotes are very sassy. I got the slow clap.
Oh my gosh, the slow clap.
It's great. I have a charade
It's
emote.
the most sarcastic emote.
I have a charade emote. He literally plays charades.
So we were doing last night. We were doing the paper rock scissors emote, but it always came up scissors, and that really bothers me.
It's a random thing though.
Is it?
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Or is it like the pie
came up
where
scissors
you know, it's
automatically?
1 in trillion chance of getting
Yeah.
rock?
Because I was like, how are we going to decide things if the paper rock scissors always comes up scissors?
Like never get anything done.
And then Rick had a high five emote, and he's like, I don't have the high five emote, so I just left him hanging.
He could just like high five your face.
Oh gosh, it was so funny.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a good
Sounds
time.
like, you know, throwing glitter in the air, new outfits. It's my kind of game.
You should play with us. It would be fabulous.
Yeah.
You'd have to buy the game first. But that's my gameplay really.
Okay, well, I've been playing Thesis Writing Simulator, which is a thrilling story about a grad student who spends all day and all night sitting at his desk writing, literally gets out of bed, slides out of bed into his office chair and starts writing, and eventually goes mad, and that's the end of the game.
Yeah, that's a Don't Nod game, isn't it?
Yeah. No, IRL, writing my thesis right now, so I haven't actually had a lot of time to do much of anything besides go to the bathroom and eat and do this podcast. So yeah, I also kicked up No Man's Sky to try and like calm my nerves a little bit because that game is super chill, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I thought, I'm gonna install No Man's Sky and just like get that going again. Because back in, when was it? February maybe, when my computer crashed, I lost everything, pretty much.
Right.
I had to restart everything. So all my No Man's Sky data for my account is gone, which really wasn't that much. I didn't put a lot of gameplay in since the latest big update. So yeah, I just been kind of playing that. Got my shit working. I found a new planet that's kind of, tropical and stuff. So I'm probably going to set up shop there, but that's pretty much it. I played a little bit of Fallout with you guys. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was so
Exploring.
fun. I really
It was
loved
really
that.
fun when you found the monorail elevators,
Oh, yeah.
and I fell off and died. That was great fun. And the creepy cave, which we have to go back to.
Yeah.
We
We
have
do.
to go back there. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, I did one PUBG run with 4 Mile.
Nice.
Weird. What'd
which-
that feel like?
It was bad. I mean, it was fun. But every time I go back to PUBG, I'm reminded of why I don't play PUBG anymore. Because there's no winning in that game. There's no success. There's no achievement. You just always feel like a failure. But you can't go in with that mindset. You have to go in with the whole idea that you're there to have fun and it's just chaos. And so we were driving through the rice fields on a scooter and I got picked off by a sniper, and 4 Mile she kept going down all the steps in the rice field and she was on the back of the scooter.
Oh my goodness.
You were
Oh my
driving?
goodness.
I was driving. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah,
I feel like we
playing
had
with
this-
her is the best because like there's really no game plan. There's no
Mhm.
tact. I mean, she's pretty good at it. And like she's really good at looting, and she's definitely a better player than I am. And that's because of the guys that she plays with. They're
Mhm.
like pretty pub pro in my opinion. But playing with her is just so much fun because it's just like, you want to go here? Oh yeah, sure, let's go there. Like it doesn't matter, whatever. If we lose, we lose. Doesn't matter. So the only chicken dinner I ever got is still Shalene's passive PUBG.
Me too. Ugh.
So
That was so
Um,
good. That was such an amazing experience.
that's pretty much it for me for gameplay though.
Well, I wanted to tag on real quick. I forgot that I tried Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode, the Firewall, and it is so bad.
Oh.
It's not good. There's a couple things they could do to improve it. Right now they have it as random drops. There's armor that you need to put. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but all they need to do, take out all the vehicles that aren't, weaponry. So tanks, vehicles with guns on them. Take all that out, and let you pick your preset class that you do in normal Battlefield games, like your medic, rifleman, or support, or whatever, and then go to town as your 4-man squad that you would pick. You have your medic, you have your support guy, and your recon. So like I think that would be a better royale. But right now it's just like random weapon loot, and it's not good. The other thing I was going to say was I forgot for a second that I have a VR system here at the house, and now I'm very excited for No Man's Sky VR.
Oh,
Oh.
I'll bet that'll be a good game for
Ew.
VR.
I
I've
hate
heard
you
that
so much right now.
I've heard that it's really good in VR, so now I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea there was even a VR version of No Man's Sky.
Yep, there's a VR version coming out.
How long has that been out for?
It's coming out this summer for next.
Oh,
their next update. Literally, it's
damn.
called next, but it's their next update. Their big one.
I'm jealous. You're gonna have to tell us all about it.
I can't
You should
wait.
try streaming it.
It'll look
That'd
like
be
a
so
slush.
fun.
You'd have to use a camera though, so we could see you like
Yeah,
flailing about
I want
your
to see you
play
like
area.
knocking over lamps
Mhm.
and
tripping
yeah.
over the dog.
What lamps?
You need to put up some lamps so you can trip over them.
I don't. Apparently, lamps are a sensitive topic. Okay, Shalene, what have you been playing?
Well, this week I've played precisely one video game. Well, I guess two. I've
What?
been so busy at work, you guys. I've been putting in so many hours. I've had a real struggle finding time to do anything else. But lately, I've been playing tons of Fallout 76. I'm in like full obsession mode for Fallout 76.
Agreed.
And I've abandoned my Xbox character basically, and I've just been playing Jim Justice on the PC. I love Jim Justice. He's a great character.
He's so great.
He's really good.
I love his
him.
pink hair.
I'm very committed to Jim Justice. And every time that I play with you guys, like for every 2 hours of gaming that I play with you guys on Fallout 76, I have to spend an hour later doing inventory management. It's just the worst.
That's pretty much how it goes.
It's so hard. It's so hard managing the stuff in this game. It's so hard. And now they've started adding stuff like the Fosnosh masks. And those are, I can't get them again, so I don't want to throw them away. I want to keep them forever. They're precious. And I feel like this is just going to become a thing where we get these things that I don't want to throw away, and they're just going to take up space, and I'm never going to wear these masks again. Like I'm almost certainly never going to wear these masks, but I can't get rid of them. I just keep them. I keep them in the drawer.
You're a hat woman. Mm-hmm. You're a hat woman, but not a mask woman.
Yeah, not really. And I don't tend to wear the hats as much in this game because Jim Justice's hair is so pretty. So it looks really good though.
I don't know if I've
rose
seen you in a
gold
hat.
pompadour, It's lovely. His little rose gold pompadour. It's beautiful.
Actually, while we're on personal aesthetics, I just want to point out that from my Fallout 76 gameplay, I finally figured out how to change your face and like hairdo and stuff. Yes, I have wonderful like tattoos now, and it's great.
It looks really good. That black that you've got.
Yeah, it's like somebody took a giant Sharpie and just like scraped it across my eyes. It's fantastic.
It looks really good. And when you were doing that, I went in and redid Jim Justice's makeup. So
you did?
He's wearing brighter blush. He's got some winged eyeliner now. So he looks real pretty. He's got a nice nude lipstick on. Looks real good. Looks real good. He's so fancy. But
wow.
I've also been keeping
Rick's walking down the main drag.
See, Rick can't go anywhere with us because we look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show now.
It was so funny. The other day, Vendor and I were doing that. I was working on Jim's makeup, and Vendor was
getting ready to go to the bar.
And then we spent like 20 minutes doing a photo shoot next to Archon's Fosnot bonfire. Like 20 minutes. And thank goodness we were playing with Archon so that Rick had something to do. So
yeah.
Him and Archon launched off together doing, I don't know what you guys were doing. But we just did a photo shoot for like 20 minutes.
It was glorious. Amazing. Yeah.
It was so good.
I also forgot that I kind of downed a couple vertibirds right over top of Archon's house.
Yes, that was
Apologies,
hilarious.
Archon. He came home to a bunch of pieces of vertibirds all over his front lawn. It was terrible.
And like Archon's never one to like amplify his voice or get excited about, or at least like,
he's very cynical.
And so he's like, so Vendor's like, I may have made a mess at your base. And Archon was like, oh, it's okay, that's fine. And he goes, oh, it's okay, that's fine, it's no big deal. Oh my gosh. Because he was currently loading into his base, and then he spawned in and saw the ridiculousness that was his base.
His
whole demeanor changed in his voice.
I
so
fast
good.
traveled there at around the same time, so I know what he saw. So you pop in, there's Archon's base, it's a lovely home, and then just pieces of vertebrates just start dropping out of the sky on the house, in the field, just dropping everywhere. It was amazing.
Oh, that
and
was
then
probably...
we all took off our clothes and did a photo shoot on
Oh
Archon's
yeah,
bearskin
on the
rug.
bearskin rug.
Naked.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
May or may
Yes.
not have been IRL.
Yes.
I would really like Fallout 76 to have a glitter emote. That would just be so good. They have like a confetti emote. I think you can throw confetti, but
It was a weird afternoon, but
fabulous.
I mean, it was fun.
Sounds normal to me.
And then
yeah.
later on, we were playing, and later on, Vendor is like, guys, where are my pants?
Well, I would like to point out that my character is a little bit of a souse in the game. And so the whole bedroom naked, like, bearskin rug ensemble started because one of the daily challenges was take a naked photo while intoxicated. And so I had decided to, do this. And then Shalene was like, well, wait for me. And then, the
And then
boys
Archon's
got
like,
back
wait,
from
I've
hunting.
got a bearskin rug.
Yeah. So next thing you know, we're all in Archon's bedroom. Yeah.
As normal progression would.
I would like to point out, though, that April is Alcohol Awareness Month. And that could have been that it really could not have been worse planning on Bethesda's
It was
part.
a little
Good job, guys.
insensitive.
Good job.
I mean, I'm aware that I'm drinking alcohol at the moment.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways, it was great fun with good friends. And I enjoyed playing the game. Hopefully we can get back on that bearskin rug soon.
I honestly thought, Shalene, for a second you were just gonna like tip the bottle to mouth as you did that joke. But
yeah. But that was really fun. I've been playing a ton of Pocket Camp as well. Got to keep up with Pocket Camp. They're adding new things constantly. As soon as you finish one event, there's a new event, and I have to keep up, guys. I have to finish everything. Nothing can be left unfinished. I have to finish everything. So right now, there's an Easter egg hunt happening in Pocket Camp.
Oh yeah, I bet you and Mom are just
Yes, I was
all
in
the
Santa
eggs.
Fe today for work, and I had a text from Mom in the afternoon. She's like, "Hey, there's an Easter egg hunt going on. I'm gonna use your iPad and gather Easter eggs for you." I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
Yes, that's so great. I love that.
So, Easter egg hunt time, and you can build some. You can craft. So you collect plain white eggs, plain egg-colored eggs. And then you use them to craft brightly colored Easter eggs. And also a horrifying Easter Bunny plushie. It's truly terrifying. The Animal Crossing Easter Bunny. I think his name is Zipper. He's horrifying. He's a terrifying character. So, Pocket Camp. I'm probably going to get fired from the podcast if I continue to talk about Pocket Camp.
You only do it every week.
Yeah, I have no qualms.
Well, I mean, it's not as though we talk about any other games every week.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing as consistent as this show.
I tamed a bunny, named him Zipper, then he died.
So I also played Division 2 with you, Rick, and it was a great time. I don't have a ton to add, but I do want to talk a little bit about the character customization options, which was one of my biggest complaints with the Division 1. There were 4 female hairstyles. They were all variants on I'd like to speak with your manager. And there are a lot more options in Division 2. I'm really happy with it. There's one hairstyle that's got a little wave in it. It's a bit of a bob. It looks pretty similar to my natural hair. And I was very excited to learn that because
I was really surprised when I saw the picture. I'm like, hey, that totally looks like Shalene.
Video games, it's always with the women's hair. It's either stick straight, just completely straight, or
in
it's
a
an
ponytail, or
there's no in between. There's no in between. And there are some of us who have curly hair, and it's not an afro. It's
I gotta say, when I first saw Shalene's character, I was very impressed with how she looked.
It looks
you.
exactly like her.
Yeah.
It's uncanny. I love it.
Well, a more badass version of.
Hey.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you put some aviators on, Shalene, right now,
That's
and
true.
it's
Mhm.
like you pretty much,
Remember
hold
my
a
big silver
hold an
ones? Those were
M16 and
amazing.
yeah,
Are they really this big on your face?
They
Yeah,
really
they're
are.
giant.
They were
They're
like this big.
ginormous.
They were
Yeah.
huge. I wonder if I still have those around here. They're mirrored and they were enormous. They were so oversized. They were
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah.
I power Archimedes with these babies.
Captain Bones in the chat says Pixar didn't happen. You can find a picture of Shalene and Rick on Freudian slip on Twitter in their Division 2 gear.
Yeah.
So,
Freudian slip.
So my character's pretty cute. I enjoy her. I do wish I'm gonna have to wear the sunglasses forever though, because they need more options for eye shapes. You know, it's
she's embarrassed
the
of her
eyes are
in-game
all
eyes.
basically the same shape. And go ahead, Rick.
No, I was gonna say I was telling her that when she first started, you have to randomize a character before you can start messing with it, and 9 times out of 10 they're gonna come out looking like Shrek.
Terrible.
He's
Terrible.
not wrong. He's not
Yeah.
wrong.
The females, at least, they come out looking like Shrek in that game.
And I do wish that there were some makeup options in the game. There are about 1,000 different varieties of face paint and about 900 different neck tattoos. But there's no eyeshadow or blush or lipstick, which made me a little sad because I really love makeup. I enjoy makeup. It's sort of another hobby of mine in addition to video games.
Did you tell them about
lot
your
of
Game of
makeup.
Thrones?
Yes, I haven't told them about it. So
Oh.
guys, Urban Decay released a line of it hasn't come out yet, of Game of Thrones themed makeup, and the eye brushes, guys, they have little sword hilts on the end, and they're so cute, so cute, and
So great.
Yeah, I love it. And the eyeshadow palette folds out into a little tiny iron throne. So yeah,
Hey,
I'm gonna get the whole collection.
I got a question about the Division.
Yes.
Sure.
Who is that third person?
It's an enemy.
It's an enemy who's dead, but he defaulted to the T position.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
He glitched.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad. What?
This could be you, but this could be us, but you.
That's the first thing I thought. Well, first, this is how it went. This is the series of events that unfolded in looking at this picture. First, it was, oh, wow, is that glitter? Second was, man, that looks just like Shalene. And then third was, who is this person? Who is this person here?
The face shape that I got was pretty accurate to my face shape as well. I was pretty happy with that. So.
I do have to admit, Shalene, that I understand the mentality behind the makeup kit.
Mhm.
I found myself Googling the other day. I was sitting there and I was like, alternatives to Old Spice original cologne. Enter. Oh, there's one that looks nice. So I understand. And I'm like, what comb should I buy?
Oh man, that's
I
just like
bought-
so
I'm
much,
not a low maintenance girl.
so much
I'm
mail,
not.
so much mail right there.
I bought hair tonic.
Ooh.
Okay, that's
Weird.
good.
Why? Why? I'm 30. I shouldn't care.
Well, you
Yeah, you
always
should
have
care.
nice hair, though.
It's weird though.
Look at how
for
nice
me.
your hair is, Rick. It's nice.
It's funny. My dad, do you ever watch Dodgeball? Dadball.
No.
Dodgeball. Have you ever seen Dodgeball?
Yes.
Okay, so Ben Stiller, he's always got like the feathered hair look. In Dodgeball, there's one scene where they're like, "Oh, his feathered hair," blah blah blah. My pops is the way that like he's this rough, gruff, tattooed. He's got junkyard tattoos, drives a Harley, blah blah blah. If you touch his hair, he gets so mad. Don't touch me. And he spends like 5 minutes trying to fix it, and you don't even do anything. Beard balm from when you had a beard.
Guys, I bought this the other day. It's called Bonsai Citrus Beard Balm.
Do you use it in your hair?
It smells glorious.
So I
if you're showing off your beard balm, this is the eye palette I used today. Smells like chocolate.
Hey, that cover looks like a chocolate bar.
Yeah, it does.
That's
Smells like
cool.
chocolate. It's really
Smells like
fabulous.
chocolate. That's neat.
Yes.
Huh.
But one of the things that my wife will complain about is now She goes, I wish you weren't so picky about your hair. I got it from my dad where I'm like, is there anything sticking up in the back? There better not be. It should be flat.
Oh man, I have this like
I'm so
I don't
anal.
know. Sometime in March, this cowlick appeared,
Oh,
and I
no.
Yeah.
freaking can't get rid of it. And it's just like it's moved in, and it's not going anywhere. Oh, it's
I
awful.
can't care too much about my hair because the curls do what they want. I have no control over them. They do whatever they want.
I would like to point out that our chat room has realized that the show has totally taken a left turn. We should probably get back to what really matters.
Oh, that's right. This is not a grooming podcast.
Yeah.
This is not a podcast about personal appearance. It's a podcast about video games. So let's
And video
talk
game
about
appearance.
some of those. Rick, I think you wanted to discuss
I
some
do.
browser games of old. Take it away, good sir.
I am so excited about this. I was thinking about this because while I was waiting for these other two jokers to hop on the Zoom call, I was playing Crush the Castle, and I was thinking to myself, you know, browser games often get overlooked because they were always there to fill our time or waste time in school, depending on who you were.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of it. You know, addictinggames.com and Armor Games, the developers, they made a lot of different games. And I was thinking, what would be like our favorite browser games? Like recapping those Flash games of old that we loved so much. And so I brought it up to these guys like, hey, before we go on, let's do a quick like little search of you know, games that we the games that we really played in the browser a lot. And I came up with a rather large list of games I like to play. And there's a couple on here that you will see. It's a precursor, a foreshadowing, if you will, of things to come in Fallout games. So I'll start if you guys need to think about this. I'll start.
Yeah. Okay.
So this isn't in any particular order, but it's just games that I really love to play. I loved playing Crush the Castle. Ugh. So it's a physics-based game where you have a trebuchet and you launch various forms of munitions at castles, and there are people in the castles, and when you whacked the castle, parts of it would fall over, and the objective was to kill the people in it. So you had to make the castle fall and kill the people that was in it using the trebuchet and flinging the armaments over and hitting the castles. And there was a second one where you got different types of armaments. You started out with a log, and then you got 3 logs at one go, and then you got a stone ball, and then you got 3 stone balls, and then you got an iron ball, and then 3 iron balls as the levels progress. So your armaments changed. But that was always a fun one. The other one I played was called Sierra 7, and it's part of the stick figure games. Do you remember those?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, that's like when I think about online browser games, that's the only thing that brings me back to is stick figures.
Yeah, so there were a
Yeah.
ton of stick figure games, and this is one where it was like a tactical one kind of thing. It was a rail shooter, except for one of the sniper levels actually had like bullet, windage and drop.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Sierra 7, and it is still fun to play. It was very short. I thought it was super fun, first person shooter, but on a rail shooter. And one of the classics, Line Rider. Do you remember Line Rider?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
It was so good. It was a little penguin on a sled.
Mm-hmm.
And you would like Microsoft Paint draw lines. The objective was to like create a course for him to ride on. And it was very, very hard. And it wasn't really a game per se, as it was you could just like draw things. And there were some really crazy things that people made, making this guy like do a little course. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Any of the stick figure games I loved, like Bowman.
Yeah. There was this stick figure game that I played of a guy on a bicycle, and you had to like try to make it through this like 2D track. And if he crashed, the bike would like obliterate into a million pieces, and he would just like splat like blood, and it was just great. Yeah.
The stick figure games are really fun. They were a lot of fun.
Candy Stand Mini Golf. BR Harris in the chat says Candy Stand Mini Golf. Yes, I totally remember that.
RoboKill was a top-down, like you walk around as a robot and you just shoot things. That was a fun one. Bloons was a classic one. Do you remember?
Sounds familiar. balloons.
Yeah, it was like you were a little monkey and you threw darts at balloons. And they caught balloons.
That's cool.
It was great. Crimson Room was the start of the escape room games. Crimson Room was the first one where like you had to search the drawers, and it was. I remember for the first time you're like, I got to click on everything. I got
Yeah.
to click on the shadow behind the leg of the dresser because there might be a key or a piece of paper there that has a number on it that leads to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. Curveball was my jam. So Curveball was a game where it was like a perspective game. You had a paddle like a square on the screen that you could move around with your mouse. And on the other end of the screen, there was another smaller square, and it was a ball that went back and forth. And like I say, it's perspective. So the ball was big when it was on your side, but as it went away from you, it got smaller. And the objective was it was ping pong. But the thing was, if you moved your mouse as you hit the ball to volley it back to the other side of the screen or the other player, the ball would curve and then like go crazy, like just go nuts. And your objective was to have him miss it. And so it was like ping pong, but like, you know, in a 3D space. And it was so fun because like I got so good at it where I'd like just flick my wrist and like smack the ball and it would just go crazy and I'd always win. And
Joseph Town in the chat says, I play Balloons Adventure Time on my phone.
Yeah, the what actually got more popular than Balloons itself was the tower defense balloons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know if that's similar, but that got really popular for a while.
So he says phones, and it kind of jogs my memory that that was the whole transition for me from online browser games was the iPhone.
Yeah.
The iPhone was totally disruptive in that there was apps and there was games that were apps, and that was the end of it. Browser games were no longer a thing for me.
Flash died, and then it became on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the precursor to Bethesda, like I was saying. There was a game called Don't Kill the Puppy.
Oh no.
I always kill the puppy.
I know. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out what was going on. So the game would start. There was a cute little puppy with this ginormous cannon aimed right at it. And you'd click start. And then all of a sudden it goes, and the puppy just goes into a bloody mist. You're like, what'd I do? And you click start. And then it goes, and the puppy turns into a bloody mist. You're like, what am I? What? I've killed 2 puppies. And by like 5 puppies, you realized it only shot the gun when you moved the mouse.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say,
no
is it
way
like a
to
release
not
thing,
kill the puppy.
The only objective is to not move the mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is... that requires some serious stamina and perseverance.
Just hit start and walk away.
Jeez.
Then there was the other game that I loved called Kitten Cannon.
Of course.
Oh, of course. This is where it all began, folks.
No, just the kittens, the cats.
There was a subgenre of games where you would shoot things out of a cannon at a certain velocity and a certain see how far they would go, and depending on how far they would go, the more points you would earn. And then they could hit things like there were traps. So like for instance, in the Kitten Cannon, when there were spikes in the ground, that if you hit them, your cat would just go and just stick on the spikes. If it hit the balloon, it would go and you would fly a little farther. You know, and so the objective was to shoot the kitten as far as you could out of the cannon. And it was so fun. Every time you fired, we go.
Oh man. Hashtag crazy for Maisie.
So, I mean, that was great. There was Tactical Assassin, which was another stick figure assassin game. Last Stand 1 and 2, which was a zombie survival game. You just stayed in one spot and you shot like an onslaught of zombies attacking you. The helicopter game, the precursor to, well, basically you would click and hold the mouse button and your helicopter would go up, and then you let go and the helicopter would lose altitude.
It's like Flappy Bird.
Yes, right. It was the precursor. It was the very first idea of what Flappy Bird became, and that was a lot of fun. And then, do you guys remember the world's hardest game? You had the little red square or blue square, and you had to get it to one end or the other. It was really hard. I mean, it made Meat Boy look easy.
Huh.
So that was another one of those games that was really difficult. And then the Impossible Quiz was one of my absolute favorite games of all time. It was this Flash game, and it was a quiz where every word was a trick question or a trick answer, or required you to do different things that aren't part of the multiple choice that it gave you. Like, one of the questions was click the answer. And it was literally, you had to click the words, the answer in the actual question.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but it got much harder. I mean, much harder. I don't think I've ever beat it, but it came, you'd start memorizing the answers as they go, so you could get through it more, and then you get stuck,
We should stream that someday.
Incredibly witty.
Oh, it was so good. And that was the thing. Like, some of these games had really clever jokes, or, a lot of the memes that we know and love came from, these games. I'm firing my lasers, that black face, red lipped thing that fired that laser was from the Impossible Quiz. It was
whoever is out there who made the Impossible Quiz is like rolling in the gratitude right now.
I guess so, man.
After years of never being acknowledged.
There was a golden era of internet, and I feel like
the first website I ever went to on the internet, you guys, was Pokemon.com.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Because that was during my Game Boy days when I had a Game Boy Color.
Pokemon.
Actually, no, it wasn't a Game Boy Color. It was a Game Boy Advanced. And
Hotline.
Yeah. Pokemon was a thing.
But yeah, that's some of my browser games that I used to play. I know there's more, but those were like the main ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
I honestly, I can't even think back and remember on some of the games that I played. I'd have to see them to know. And I tried going to addictinggames.com, which is the website where I used to go to. And it's all different now, so I don't remember any of them, but yeah.
I don't remember a ton of the browser-based Flash games that I played back in the day. I think Bejeweled was a Flash game, and I used to play that a lot.
Yeah.
And I know the original N was a Flash game, and I remember playing that.
My mom still plays Bejeweled on Facebook.
Yeah.
She's
Bejeweled
addicted.
is a good game. It's a good game.
Yeah, she's addicted.
A trend starter it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I slacked off more than you two, so maybe that's why I played more browser games.
I don't know. I remember, we would have, these, breaks where we would be allowed to go to the library, and everybody would just be on the computers playing these online browser games, and it would just be, so much fun.
We downloaded most of our games that we played in school, SimCity, SimFarm, Half-Life, that kind of thing. Yeah. And I think Quake. We used to play Quake. And we used to play it was a big thing in my school to play the online chess and checkers with Yahoo games. Yeah, Yahoo Checkers and Yahoo Chess.
Yeah.
We played that so much. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've got. So.
Do you remember Microsoft Pinball?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
How good was that? Where'd it go?
It was good.
I'm so sad that's gone.
There used to be great games that just came pre-installed, just all those games were always good.
Did you remember the cat and mouse and cheese game for the really early Windows, Windows 95?
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was good. And
I mean, if you play it now, you're going to be like, this is really bad.
What's it called? Marble Blast?
Yes.
Marble Blast Ultra for the 360?
No, there was a Marble Blast on PC.
See, I played Marble Blast Ultra for the 360. And I remember looking at it for the first time. It was the first game I ever experienced on 360, and I was like, the graphics are so good.
One of my really good friends, I would always go over to her house to hang out, and her dad would be just chilling there in front of the computer with a cigarette, just playing Minesweeper. And it was just he was always playing friggin' Minesweeper. And that's what I remember him as. He passed away now, but yeah, it's kind of sad. But he was always playing Minesweeper, and I just remember that. It's just jogged my memory of these old Windows 95, Windows 98 games. Pinball was like revolutionary.
Oh, it was great. Did we
Like-
talk about DOS gaming at all?
No,
Yeah,
but we
that
should
was one of our
definitely write
first
a.
episodes, wasn't it?
Do we? I don't
Or was
remember.
that KDR?
I think it might have been.
It was
What?
KDR.
We'll bring it back. We'll bring it
Yeah.
back.
We weren't supposed to say the name.
Speaking of bringing it back,
Well, we didn't really. Let's talk about listener emails, shall we?
Okay.
Who wants
Well, then
to
I'll
read
save.
the email?
We'll save some DOS stuff for later.
Yeah. Somebody read the email.
Kevin writes, "Hey guys, just catching up on the last few episodes. I heard Rick dis eso.
Dis ESO.
Oh, okay. I thought that I thought there was a Spanish thing there. I guess it
like
wasn't.
You went
fine.
Spanish. I heard Dice eso?
Oh,
I'm so embarrassed. I did a snort.
Oh man, that's great.
Okay.
is dis not spelt with two S's?
I
I
don't know.
read Dice eso. So.
Anyways, I heard Rick dis ESO. Then the next episode say how much fun he had with it. So Rick, I'm glad you came around. I've been on ESO for a couple of years now, and I'm really liking it. We will never see each other, unfortunately, because I'm on PS4. But I have perfected the art and style of being a sneaky sniper, ganking in Cyrodiil PvP. So if you need
Like
any
all
advice on
another
builds,
language for you. I love it.
He does not Elder Scrolls.
so if you need any advice on builds, champion points, etc. for this playstyle, let me know. I'll teach R how to effectively gank. I'm just like, can you take the rest of it?
Gank and annoy your enemies proper. You or anyone else hearing this, if you want to learn ganking in ESO, you can find me in Facebook group Kevin Keel. Send me a message. You know, the funny thing is I haven't played ESO since like I talked about it. That's another one of those games. It's just like it's so much. I'm not even gonna bother. I'll wait for Elder Scrolls 6.
That was a mess of an email. Never let me do that
It
again.
was wonderful. It was so good. That was the best part of the
Hey,
podcast.
guys.
In the next episode, we're gonna title it Dice Eso.
I think we should change the name of this one to Diseso.
I swear, I just want to have a taco truck and call it Diseso.
Oh my god, stop.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Bender said we should end the show. Diseso?
Wow, you guys. This is amazing. Let's do in the show though. Archin's here. He says I made it barely. Goodbye, Archin. Thank you for dropping by.
Bye.
Love you, bye. So guys, watch that Fallout show next week. We promise that we will work hard on it and it will be better than this one. Email us at info. It won't. That's a lie. That's a lie. Email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. info@wejustlovegames.com. Find us on Twitter @wejustlovegames. I'm Shalene L. Rick is Rick McVick, and Vendertron is Vendertron N. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/wejustlovegames or facebook.com/groups/wejustlovegames. You can connect with Kevin Keel and learn how to properly gank in ESO. Also, join our Discord server. It's a very happening place, the Discord server. We're in there all the time, all of us. We're always chatting, hanging out with our lovely listeners, and we love you guys. And we love hanging out with you in the Discord. So join that. There's a link on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/wejustlovegames. Or you can just send us a message on one of those other social media platforms. We'll get you a link to the Discord. You can hear this show very much live and very much a disaster at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. Follow the Twitch channel, and we occasionally do a little live stream. Sometimes Vendor and I stream some story-based games. Sometimes Rick and I stream some spooky games. So if you can also catch the replays of those always on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/We Just Love Games. Find this podcast on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, also iHeartRadio, a bunch of other places, Google Play, I think, Spotify. Is that what it's called? Spotify?
Yep.
Okay. And other places, I'm sure, wherever fine podcasts are given away. Leave us a like, a subscription, or a review. We love it. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening. Does anyone have a last word?
I'll have one in a second.
Okay. So
Curse your sudden and oh.
I was gonna say diceso.
Diceso.
That works.
Diceso, everyone. We love you.
Bye bye.